Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Michi Makes Up. In this video, I want to share with you some favorite beauty items that I got to try in 2023. And I recognize that most content creators have these videos up at the end of the year, so everybody had probably launched theirs at the end of 2023 or early 2024 and not like mid-January. So I still wanted to share that because it is the channel's tradition. It's something I enjoy doing and I've always gotten really good feedback from you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive in. So the first item I wanted to share with you guys are, and these were launched right at the beginning of the year or maybe even end of 2022, but they're the Chanel Rouge Allure Velvet Lipsticks. Tons of new shades were launched for the line, and it is also what I have on today. This is this is 61 Intuitive. And at launch, I purchased 6 shades that I've kept all of them. I really do like the formula. How it looks, how it feels. It is a matte finish, but it does have this kind of, it's a softer matte finish, I should say. And because of that, it's also a bit more hydrating and more comfortable to have on. It does last for a good amount of time for a, you know, matte lipstick. It does outlast your typical satin finish lipsticks. The sad part is, of the 6 shades I purchased, the one that was most neutral, the one that I would probably use most often, I don't know where it is. I think it really could be anywhere. I have not seen it around the house. It could be just lost somewhere and I might have to get a replacement. So I'm kind of sad about that, but I have enjoyed these pretty thoroughly. You know, this is a great shade, matches my top. If you want to see a full video of all the shades I got, along with swatches, comparisons, lip swatches, I do have a video dedicated to that. And just as I'm talking, I'll swatch a second shade from that launch, and this is 53 Inspirant. Much brighter, a berry shade. I'll have a link below. So that's really one of my favorites from 2023. The second item is going to be Sonia G's Keyaki or Mini Keyaki Niji brush. I love the shape of this brush, and it can be used for bronzer, all over face powder, but I especially love it for blush. And it just covers a really wide area. And because of the shape, it's easy to do that sweep motion with it. It's fluffy enough where it can easily diffuse your powder products, but it's also dense enough to actually, you know, add enough product to give you like a meaningful color on your face and then effectively disperse it or blend it out. And while I do have actually a little bit of blush underneath this, I have cream blush, which is from Westman Atelier. This is in the shade Poppette. So I wanted Poppette to be underneath because I want that kind of pinkish flush look from underneath. And I want to also demonstrate for you guys applying blush with this brush because it's quick, so I might as well include it in this video. And before I actually go ahead and apply the blush, I did want to get into my third favorite item from 2023, and these are the SUQQU melting powder blushes. If you've been watching my channel, you know how much I love these blushes. Unfortunately, they have, unless this has changed, but they've officially been discontinued at the end of last year, at the end of 2023. And so what is in stock that you see, I think it is truly like the last set of stock you could get. So after finding out, which Mel, a friend of this channel and who is a content creator herself, so I'll put her Instagram handle below if you're interested in seeing some of the content she creates, but she was the one who let me know, and I went and picked up a few more. I actually went and picked up anything that was remotely interesting to me and that I felt like I could wear it. I picked it up, and one of those blushes is 07. And I think it matches today's makeup look, lips, outfit, should match pretty well. And this is the one that I picked to demonstrate for you guys. And I'll do a quick swatch on the hand. And I don't know if you can see on camera, but it's really like a soft powder with the softest sheen to it. There are no sparkly bits to the powder actually. It just gives you a very soft finish and it's very beautiful. You can build on it if you want more colors on your cheeks. It's certainly something that is buildable, especially with a deeper shade like this, but it's just very soft, beautiful sheen that gives you a brightened complexion. And so I dab the brush twice into the pan. You can see how much product I picked up. So I don't want this much of this, you know, deeper blush. I don't need this much product, so I'm just gonna dab it off a tissue, kind of tap the brush here, and then I will gently sweep it onto the face. See that upward kind of windswept motion? You can see that, okay, we have that powder blush on here versus none on this side, and just how still natural it looks. I think it's so beautiful. So beautiful. This brush makes it easy, and then we have a beautiful product. So with a combination of these two, makes the look, makes the experience really great. That's why both of these products are on my list for 2023. If SUQQU comes back and says, oh, we figured it out, we're actually gonna relaunch melting powder blushes with a new set of shades, I am there. I will pick up as many as I can to review, but also just to add to the collection. Just, wow. I love it. I love it. The other shades from the melting powder family that I purchased, I do want to quickly show you guys. I have something that is limited edition. You might still be able to get this one. This is 104, an orangey shade, and I find it beautiful. It works well with my skin tone, which is neutral. So I have neutral undertones, and it goes beautifully whenever I want to lean on more coral, or even an orangey bronzy look. I find that this is a good blush to pair the look with. And then also limited edition shade. This one just reminds me of like summertime, sorbet, bubblegum, just summertime, a summertime pink. And this is 103. It's like a brighter, cool pink. And again, they just go on beautifully. They blend, diffuse beautifully. I don't really, the lighter shades, I don't even think about, oh, I've put too much on. Okay, I just go back and blend it out. So that's why I love these. Easy to blend, soft finish, sheen, no sparkles. And it's just, they're just amazing. I'm very sad. I'm still very sad that they have basically discontinued this. So if this interests you, I have additional, actually quite a bit of videos on these blushes, but if you are interested, you can still pick a few of these up right now. So links below, I'll share all that information. The next item I have on the list is from Chanel, and it is their spring launch. It is a eyeshadow and blush palette. They released 2 color stories. I picked up one, 957 10 dress. 10 dress color story is actually very complimentary to the makeup look I have today. But I actually did not use these colors to create this eye look. I also, as you guys just saw, I didn't use this for blush either. But I'm sure you can see the similarities. So there was definitely something about this color story for last year. Any of these shades can be used on the face or eyes. Quickly, I think some of these are very self-identifying. This could be a bronzer for some people. This could be, I think this was, I used it mostly for eyeshadow, but I also tried it for blush. You can use it for blush. Certainly this shade as well, this coral shade. Being that this is Chanel, the aesthetic is going to be a little bit softer for their products, their eyeshadow and payoff. So It worked really well for me, but I can see how this can be a little bit too light for some other people's preferences. I would say that, you know, this, I couldn't really see it as a blush. It's interesting. I actually want to swatch it next to the blush I have on right now to show you guys. So this is that same blush that we applied together, and I'm going to, underneath it, swatch the Chanel shade. It is really too deep for my skin tone. I probably could do a little bit, just very softly, if I used, you know, very soft, like a smaller soft brush, maybe something even airier than that, not as dense. I could pull it off, but I would have just overall an easier time and better experience if I stuck to like eyeshadow. Using the shade as eyeliner is also really, really great. But the other shades were definitely suitable for the eyes, and I actually did use most of this palette to create a look for a family shoot last year that turned out fabulous. And we used natural light. There was no studio lighting. It turned out so beautiful. So the palette itself just makes it convenient. You can take this one palette, you would have everything you need to go on vacation or business trip, whatever it is, and you're just trying to pack lightly. But I think it was well thought out and planned well enough that if the colors were generally suitable for your skin tone, you could make most of the shades work for that multi-purpose. So I thought this was a great Chanel launch, and this was something a lot of people were excited about. That's why I put it on my list as a favorite beauty item from last year. The next two items is from Tom Ford. It's the two eyeshadows they released early in the year, and I have, I think it was a trio, and I picked up two of them. I picked up Hazy Sensuality. So we have cool shades, a cool color story here, and all of them are shimmer. We have this shade here, which is going to be more of a glitter shade with a little bit of a base color. And then Golden Hour, which is has most definitely become one of my favorite Tom Ford eyeshadow color stories. It is what I have on today on the eyes, and I just love these colors combined. It truly does give you that, the colors are the shades you would associate with Golden Hour. It's beautiful. It's warmer, but it isn't like a really warm, cozy summer tone, but it's not quite like those warm summer shades. And I feel like it has a good distinction between the cool hazy sensuality. This is obviously a lot warmer, but we're not quite to like the warmth we would see for summer makeup releases. And I just love that. I love that distinction. You have some options, choices to pick between these two during the launch, and so they're both great, but if I had to pick a favorite, it's going to be Golden Hour. In fact, Golden Hour is quickly becoming like a top Tom Ford eyeshadow palette for me. I'm going to go back to SUQQU for our next item. SUQQU had a summer launch, and it was a special launch because it commemorated their anniversary of last year. And so the entire collection came with these off-white shimmery palettes. The packaging for eyeshadows, blushes, and lipsticks were of this kind of variety. They also had, actually they also had, I think, nail polish too, that had kind of matching packaging. What I picked up from the collection, it was a big collection, but what I picked up were both of the eyeshadows, both of the blushes, and one of the lip products. And I gotta tell you, the standout from this collection for me is going to be the lipstick here. It is, this marble lipstick is a favorite, not just for 2023, but it is an all-time favorite. There is, because of the shade, and it has a glossy finish, it goes with any look. It's neutral enough, like for my lip color, I should say, I should be clear. For my lip color, it goes with really any look. It's neutral enough, but it's not boring. It has some sparkle to it. It's comfortable because it's a gloss finish. It's not sticky or tacky. And it's neutral enough, but there's enough pigment. You get some good coverage, so you're not like going makeup light, but you're going, you know, natural looking makeup that has all the pigment that you would want to actually, you know, be made up. So I love this lipstick. I'm very tempted to go back for a second one, but I still actually have a lot of this lip product left. I guess the other one I could pick up is the other lipstick shade from the same collection that is a pink. So it's always very tempting. I'm actually kind of surprised you can still get items. You can still get this collection, like it's readily available. So if you're interested, it's still out there, still available. But I would say the matching blush of the lipstick is this, and this is 140. What's really nice about these marble blushes is, yes, the design, the color pairings, they go well together, but also when you go in with a brush, it doesn't mess this up because of the way the product, like the powder, has been placed into the pan. So normally, if it's just sitting on top, this pattern, you go over it with a brush, you're gonna slowly, the design's gonna go. But this is not the case. I love that attention to detail. They really made this special. Just little touches here and there that make a difference. You will continue to see this design until you hit pan. Because now, you know, now they have a chance of mixing up more, but until then, you're gonna see this very clearly. I absolutely love that. And then I'll show you the other blush here, 141. So the lipstick, the marble lipstick from this collection, is going to be a match to this blush. And then the two eyeshadow palettes, 125. Duochrome. And 126. I am going through these pretty quickly, but just want to remind you guys there are dedicated videos to, I think, all but one item that I'll talk about. So please check out the links in the description to head to that exact video if you want to see more reviews, completed looks, etc. We're almost at the end here. The next item is not new. I actually tried it first in 2022, but last year I picked up a new shade and it is brilliant. It's perfect. It goes very well with my lighter hair color, and I just couldn't be more pleased. I love the formulation to begin with, but now that I picked a shade that really works with this new hair color, I couldn't be happier. This is the Westman Atelier Bone Brow Defining Pencil in the shade Clay. Clay is the lightest shade they have, and it would be for somebody with blonde hair or going for just lighter brows, and I have dark brows. And maybe you can't see it that well in this video. This is my natural hair color. And my brows are about this deep. You can see I am growing out my silvers or grays. But my natural hair color, thanks to Clay, I've been able to draw or color in much lighter brows that just go really well with this balayage. Every time I see it, I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I wanted, and it fit the bill, and I didn't have to look really hard, so that's the other thing. I will even top it with the Merit Brow Gel, and I think they only have one or two shades, but this is the lighter one of the two. So that's the brow gel. As you can see, it's more brown, redder, and deeper than Clay. Clay is quite cool. And the two combined is great. I love the versatility of that, so I had to put it on the list because it's just makes me so happy that I found this match. We're down to the last three items here. This next one is Surratt's Dewdrop Concealer. The consistency and finish is not like their Dewdrop foundation, where it is light medium buildable coverage and has a dewy natural finish. This actually has a matte finish. It's long staying like you would want from a concealer, and I almost bought it exclusively just for under the eyes, but I have used it for places where I do have redness, so under the nose, under and around the chin, and I just really like it. I like that. So the way that it looks under my eyes right now, things are looking pretty fresh. You know, I guess I could better kind of address right here if I were to spend a bit more time. But generally, this is how I'm going to look under the eyes for the next 4 to 6 hours, just depending if I'm outside or running errands or I'm just more like sitting down at work. This is great. This is exactly what I want for under the eyes. So I was just, I still am impressed with this concealer, and I will go through this whole thing and probably pick up a second one. Interested to try, this is in the shade number 1, so it's very light. I have to use it sparingly and pair it with a powder that brings down that lightness. So I'm interested in trying a shade deeper, so number 2, and seeing where that goes. But I'm thinking if I do use number 2, I'd probably have to go with like a lighter powder so I'm not dimming it too much. Anyhow, that's for another day's discussion. So I really do like the Surratt Dewdrop Concealer. Quick swatch here. Matte finish, long staying power, and it mostly dries down but does very well when you use a puff or a sponge or your preferred brush to pat down the powder. It just wonderful. Okay, second to last item is something I debated whether I'm going to put on today's video, and I decided, you know what, I've tried it nearly a dozen times. I don't want to hold out on you guys for another couple of weeks until I get to do a proper wear test and record that experience on camera. So this is the SUQQU Radiance Elixir. I already put some on my finger actually, because I wanted to see like how it dries. Usually I put it on my face and within a minute I'll have my like concealer and foundation on, but I had put some on right here and kind of spread it. You can see the sheen. Like this finger I don't have anything, you can kind of see a bit of the sheen here. It's subtle, but it's there. The glow you see on my face is from this product. I don't have any highlighter on. The blush that I use both underneath the powder and the powder blush I use on top, none of them had sparkly bits, specks. I also didn't use any kind of shimmering, shiny finishing like face powder, so it's truly this product. It is the most exquisite radiance serum. That also pairs beautifully with makeup. So if you are new to the channel or you haven't gotten a chance to watch these videos, I am doing something called the Glow series. And every episode I pick a product that is either a glow primer or glow serum, something you would wear underneath makeup. And I would just do a full day wear test, about 8 hours or so, to see if it's a primer, does it help your makeup last longer, extend the longevity? If it is just a glow serum, does it make my skin oily? And how is that radiance after as a day wears on and after a full day? So if you are interested in that, many links below in description, but I'll have that as well as a playlist, and I will actually go through and do a proper test for you guys. But right now it's looking really good for this Radiance Elixir. I love it. It helps with hydration and really good skincare stuff in it, but it gives me that glow. It's just very healthy looking. It gives me that glow, just very healthy, and it does not make my face oily over time. So that is why. And we're moving on to the very last item. This is also a new item, but I've been using it a few times a week, and every time it's been a joy. This is the Dyson hair dryer. If you've seen my biggest splurge of 2023, the reveal was this hairdryer here. I got it in the retro pop color. That's a limited edition release here, but the technology itself behind this dryer I've been very impressed with. I've used it before, and I've kind of just kicked the idea down the road of picking one up because I didn't actually need one. But now I feel like after years of waiting, I finally want the Dyson hairdryer, and I don't regret it one bit. I love it. And also this color too is just so pretty. So pretty. It also comes with a few different extensions. I think my favorite feature of the hairdryer is going to be the cool option. So here, you have to turn, by the way, you have to turn, so, sorry. I'm just gonna dial back a bit here. Let's go back a bit. This is the heat setting. This is how much, I guess, air comes out of the hairdryer. And then the power button, the cool button. In order to get nice cool air, you need to turn off all of the heat. So there's 3 settings here. You turn it off completely, and then you press this for cool air. And I'm telling you, the air is not sort of cool to the touch, but it's more than that. And I use this cool setting to set my hair. I wash my hair in the evening, and so it actually looks kind of terrible in the morning because once I dry it, you really have to let it fully dry. If you just sleep on it, you're gonna like style your hair as if you're sleeping on it, and it's gonna look, the hair's gonna look flipped out, just opposite of what you want it, what I want it to be. So I use this cool air setting, and it helps so much. The next day, the hair generally still looks like this. You know, it's not perfect. You really do have to style after you sleep on your hair anyway, but it helps so much. And I've used other hair dryers with a cool air setting, none as cool as this. Truly, the temperature wise. Because I've put that styling, you know, the air to set the hair several times, I can tell you for a fact it works extremely well. The one thing that did catch me off guard, I don't remember this being the case when I used it a couple years ago, is the sound. It's like a high-pitched sound. It doesn't bother me, but I can see it bothering some people. In fact, I know I've been talking to one of you guys, and you said, I'm actually not sure if I want to keep this Dyson hairdryer because of the pitch. So I can see that being a problem. I don't think my dogs like it all that much either. They tend to not stay in the bathroom, which is where I dry my hair, when this is on. So there might be something to that. But otherwise, I really like it. I feel like my hair dries faster. It also looks more styled. Using the same kind of brushing technique and kind of like carefully going through, you know, like strips of hair, I feel like it's just more styled. I feel like the hair looks healthier after a drying session using this dryer. So it's the last item on the list, and I wanted to make sure it's included because it is a favorite discovery of 2023. Thank you guys for watching. Many links below on dedicated videos and playlists and places where you could pick up these products. So if you have these on your favorite list for last year, please let me know. Anything else that you might be interested in and would like me to try, I'm also open to your suggestions. So thank you guys, and if I haven't talked to you one-on-one on Instagram or on social media, I just want to say Happy New Year. See you guys again soon. Bye.